I'm gonna do a quick video. I just the first thing I clicked on this morning, Jesse Waters, and well, here let me just play it. I just and then I'll say something. I'll just play it first. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Let's move it back here. Let's just start.
That First Lady Jill Biden's Secret Service detail was infiltrated by foreign operatives. 2 foreigners.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Jill Biden's Secret Service detail was infiltrated by 2 foreign operatives. Oh my God. Everybody else done? Sorry, Fred. Did you hear that? Infiltrated. Let's go ahead and watch it all. I'm stunned.
One of them, linked to Pakistani intelligence, were posing as Homeland Security officers while they were bribing White House Secret Service agents with rent-free apartments and drones and flat screens. Now, at the time, we just thought it was only the First Lady's detail that was breached. But today we're finding out the Secret Service agents entangled in this little bribery scheme were also assigned to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
In a bribery scheme. Come on, man. Come on. I thought them Secret Service guys were supposed to be the All-American Boy Scouts. The Dan Bonginos and wow. And then I thought it was our practice to, if we were infiltrated, not to tell anybody. And tell people, oh, geez, wait a minute. Are you feeling it now, people? Are you feeling the deception? Are you feeling the betrayal? Are you feeling it? Because this is just, wow. Coming out in that meeting. Yeah. Jill's, Joe's, Kamala's. Has spies in it. Like Feinstein. Yeah. How many daggum years? 20 plus years. She had the Chinese chauffeur. How many? Swalwell, all of them. And it's all on the left so far. But wow, for some reason, I feel I've been locked to. It's weird. It feels like my country has betrayed me. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yeah, I thought. Feels the same, right? Wow, the stories and the lies we were told our whole lives. And now we're saying it. Now we're saying, remember the Rosenbergs? Remember the Rosenbergs? Are these guys going to be, are we going to have a big treason trial? Are we going to have a big spy trial? Maybe that's what they ought to do for a nice community circus. Have a big spy trial. Yeah. Public hanging. When was the last time we caught a spy? And did anything to him? Right? I mean, I think that boosts morale, Joe. Hang a good spy. Where are they from? Argentina side. Really? Really? Spies from a third-rate freaking country infiltrated us? Are you kidding me? We are so bad here now. If we were ever the biggest, baddest boy on the block, we ain't no more. Now we're Now we're the guy roller skating around in tight shorts and a tube top. That's us now. We're not the biggest, baddest boy on the block no more. Wow. This is just hard to believe. Well, it's not hard to believe. It's not surprising. It's, I guess the best way I could put it is it's a long time coming. Long time coming. Knew something like this was going to happen, but when you have the propaganda, let's finish watching Jesse. What else does Jesse say?
So these guys had access to the highest levels of the White House while raking in gifts from foreign intelligence operatives. As if this White House didn't have enough problems already now, they're looking at a massive Secret Service scandal. Jeff James is a retired Secret
Service. I thought to get in that, you had to be, there's a blood test and everything. What the heck?
Service agent. So, Jeff, what strikes you immediately about this scandal?
Well, what strikes me first is that it really never should have happened. When they were first approached, when these Secret Service employees were first approached by these people who were trying to curry their favor with gifts and trying to find out more about their about the intricacies of what they did, they should have reported that immediately, and it should have gone up the chain, and it should have been stopped before it ever started.
So you have that. Do they issue polygraph examinations for people at Secret Service? I mean, they should be doing that on the regular, right?
Correct. Well, it is right now. It is part of the pre-employment process, and then if you're involved in an investigation, it can also be ordered for that.
Well, they're going to have to submit to polys after this for sure. What do you think these foreign agents were after? Was this possibly a foreign intelligence gathering plot, or were they maybe looking to possibly assassinate VIPs here?
Well, it could have gone either way, and that's what's the scariest part is that we don't know where this was going. So it could have been something that they did want to gain access to the persons the Secret Service protects in order to commit an assassination, or they could have gotten to the point with these people where they made them an asset, even gave them a thumb drive and said, hey, put this into a computer on the Secret Service network or the White House network, and they would have had access to all the Secret Service cameras and alarms, possibly to shut them down and create some kind of organized attack.
We actually don't even know if one of the agents was compromised the way you described it. So that's pretty scary. Are we going to have the Secret Service director fired?
You know, I don't believe so. The Secret Service is still a remarkably
Whatever. It ain't remarkable nothing. I can't listen to those talking heads. But yeah, how does the Secret Service get infiltrated? Come on, man. Really? The CIA, we know they're a bunch of clowns. And the other alphabet agencies that deal with this. But yeah, my whole life, the narrative I'd received and understood was we're the best spies in the world. We don't get infiltrated. We infiltrate them. We're too good. We're the best. You know, and then then the Israeli guys, and you know, it goes down the ladder. The movies have showed us. But wow, infiltrated. I don't know. Y'all remember anything? The Rosenbergs, they didn't improve. They did anything. They just needed a scapegoat. But now we're gonna. Is this not a perfect premise for them to go? Well, America, it's obviously we can't trust you, so we're gonna have to and put some control measures in for you Americans. Look how y'all got in secretly into our Secret Service. Can't have that no more. Can't have that. And it's pretty bad. Hey, stop. It's pretty bad like you described pre-interview process, you get a polygraph. That one dog, she's a pain in my butt. Ow, I just hurt my ankle. Ow. That wasn't good. Ow. Sat on it wrong. But yeah, folks, if that didn't evidence enough right there that now what else is there to announce about our federal government? We're broke, we're compromised, we're senile, we're murderers, and pedophiles. The hell? That's what we live under. That's what we live under. It's crazy. America the Beautiful. Jose, can you see? I guess. Is Vladimir or, Zelensky, can you see? I wonder what global power broker is measuring drapes for the White House one day when they do the New World Order. Where's the White House going to be? Where's the capital of the one world order going to be? Or are we going to have to send our FOIA request in the future? Oh my God. Sad state we live in. Sad state. That was loose, folks. Nothing else explains it. Like we told our buddy Bobby yesterday, we were talking with him, and I always lay some flat earth stuff on him and get him a little more riled each time. If I ask him, while you were out there on the lake fishing, did it ever dawn to you that, my God, this is all flat? And he, I go, what? What? No, it's like water. Water always finds its level. And you've been floating on it for days now. Did you not realize everything is flat? Except for topographical parts of mountains and valleys and such. No, we're basically flat. And he says, well, it can be flat because it has to be spinning to keep the water on it. I laugh so hard. I said, did you hear what you said? Hey, Ashley.
Shalom, shalom. What you talking about, buddy?
Oh my God, our friend Bobby came over yesterday and threw some flat earth stuff at him. We're slowly chipping away at him and asked him about sitting in his bass boat the last week, fishing every day. It ever dawned on him that looking out across that lake, that this world is flat. And he says, oh, no. He says, see, and he starts doing his hands. He goes, see, the world, it has to spin so the water will stay on it. And that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And something has to spin to keep something attached. That's one of the dumbest things. Think about it. Well,
You didn't tell him that, though.
What?
You didn't tell him that, though, did you?
Oh, sure I did. Sure I did.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. So you told him one of the dumbest things you ever heard. What do you say?
One of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And he's like, well, it's spinning and I said, dude, where does it say it has to be spinning? All you people believe this whole spinning shit. Why? Prove it's spinning. He's like, well, we know it is. No, they can't. They've never proven anything. They cannot prove that the world's spinning. I said, I know you don't know anything about this. And just believe what you're told. I said, but they've tried 1,000 ways to Sunday to prove that this earth is spinning, and they can't. There's no way. And he's just like, yeah, well, I just, I'm gonna have to think about it. And me and Alan just keep hitting him with stuff. Just keep hitting him. But they believe in that so much that they, even when you point out to them the flaws, they're like, well, no. Yeah. all based on theory. Next time I see him, I'm going to tell him, look, next time you go fishing, you're going to catch at least 100 fish because I have a theory. I have a theory that if you put your bait on your line and you tie it left hand over the top instead of right hand, you'll catch 100 fish. That's my theory. Try it. If you don't, then you did something wrong because my theory is solid.
Have you tried your theory?
Well, no, it's just a theory.
But it's solid, man. Man, 100% foolproof. It works.
My theory, like the theory of relativity, is only about 2% provable, but it's provable to 2%, and it works. Trust me.
It works.
Left hand over instead of right hand over top when you tie your knots. It works every time. It does. It's provable.
Interesting.
It's
I'm
provable.
gonna check it out when I go fishing, which will be about another 2 weeks.
People would just listen. Everybody would have a bounty.
If everybody just listen to Tommy, everything would go smooth. We would all get along just fine. You'd be able to do everything. Right.
Did you see the start of the show? What I started with?
What'd you
Jesse Waters on Fox reporting that Kamala Harris, Biden, and his wife's Secret Service detail was infiltrated with some spies. They just caught him and stuff, and he's talking to an ex-Secret Service guy, and he's all, well, the obvious, well, that shouldn't have happened in the beginning. When those service agents were approached with the bribes, they should have told. And what do you do? The Secret Service, they're supposed to be our cream of the crop. They're supposed to be our amazing, top guys. They protect the president and the money type of deal, and are so easily infiltrated by some guys from South America.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. No. It's all a ploy. It's a conspiracy, man. It is. It's a flipping conspiracy. That's what it is. It's a fact.
I don't know whether this is a distraction because it came out on a Friday.
It is, man. Gotta be. I don't care what they say. It's gotta be. Anyway, go ahead.
But we've, in my lifetime, I was under the impression that if we were infiltrated by a foreign spy, the general public would never know about it because we were that good.
This is my thing. You got all these scientists. The scientists, the ones that get paid, they're the ones that get paid. The bankers, they got their money in the scientists. And all these scientists are all working from the same daggone nation. German, Chinese, Japanese, Yugoslavian, whatever. They're all working in the same buildings, every one of them. You look at the papers, they got the names of different countries on each paper with the artificial intelligence, with the technology, the scientists. So all this stuff, we got spies coming in and this and that. Everything's going digital. Like there's I don't think that we've got this whole we're separate now and we've got secrets and they don't have secrets. I really believe that we are coming into one in the artificial intelligence way. And yeah, I think that's all a crap. I think it is a distraction. The spies. Of course.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't I be? No.
Well, that's what the other people ask us. Are y'all high? Well, yeah, but that means nothing.
Yeah, do you want some?
All right. But in my lifetime and stuff, the narrative was always that if something like that happened, if this is true, I want a big national spy trial. I want it televised 24/7. I want to see the perp walk with these spies. And then I want to see them get executed for spying, for treason against the U.S. Let's do this. What are we doing here? Is it going to be like the Fang thing with Swalwell that, I kissed her once at a dance, or the chauffeur for Feinstein? Oh, he was a great driver for 20 years. Well, now he's a spy. Golly, I got to fire him. And that's it. You don't hear nothing else. What's going on? Now we got another one. They're busted. Let's see something. I'm not gonna see anything.
No,
Crazy.
it is crazy. I watched your I watched the well, I did half of it of Obama and Biden.
Yeah.
Their little conference that they did. Yeah, I only watched half of it, but you're right. And it's interesting. Biden ate a piece of candy 3 minutes before Obama asked him to come up and talk.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. What's that piece of candy doing, man?
Some kind of fentanyl candy or something.
Right, to help him talk.
Adderall candy. Adderall lace candy.
Yeah. But in there, it was Obama was talking about we just want to help ones in healthcare and whatnot, because it's for Obamacare, and said so that the ones in power don't use it wrongly, something along those lines, so that the ones in power won't use it. What?
Yeah,
but
we've
y'all
got to
are
do
the ones that.
Yeah, we've got to do this so somebody that gets in power someday can't do bad things to you.
Right.
We're protecting you. We're here for you. Remember our brand. It's sad. It's sad. I saw that Divergent guy put out a good deal about what was the dude's name? Crap. I have to go back and look. But he said back in the 20s, mid 20s, hey, in the future, they can give you an injection that's going to have stuff in it that'll take your soul. Medicine is going to be the avenue they use to take mankind's soul from you.
What is it, a book?
No, it's let me look real quick. I got him. I watched it last night real quick.
Oh, man.
Showed it to Alan, and it was crazy when they're saying those kind of things all the way back then. And yeah, let's pull this up real quick. I'll show it. But yeah, it's just amazing what they were saying back then even. And there's nothing. Let me share this and we'll let everybody read it. But right here, the dude says straight up. He says, in the future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine under the pretext of healthy point of view. There will be a vaccine by which the human body will be treated as soon as possible directly at birth, so that the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. The materialistic doctors will be entrusted the task of removing the soul of humanity. As today, people are vaccinated against this disease or that disease. So in the future, children will be vaccinated with a substance that can be produced precisely in such a way that people, thanks to this vaccine, will be immune to being subjected to the madness of a spiritual future. Think about that.
Dude, what channel? Where did you get this? What's going on here? I need eliminate the soul spirit. Eliminate soul spirit.
Yeah, through medicine. And this was in, I think I want to say 1929. He lived, or before that, he lived 1861 to 1925. So think about that. Think about that. He was telling us back then, hey, here's the way it's going to go down.
Right.
And they're just going to keep putting stuff in you at birth as soon as possible. Think about that. As soon as possible. He knew it. He knew it was coming.
And you know, medicine is pharmakia. It is pharmakia. And this just proves what Revelation chapter 17 says, that all nations will fall to her sorceries.
No.
Her pharmakia. That word is pharmakia. And we walk into a pharmaceutical company, it's called the sorcery company. It's
Is
the
there any?
sorcery building.
Uh,
And then oh, this is this. Hmm. Rudolph
is there
Steiner. I've heard that name more often.
Steiner? Yeah. Is there anything that more people agree on and will follow blindly than medicine? Take this pill. People take that
Music.
pill and follow blindly. I don't know. People will forego a concert. They won't forego their prescription.
Mm, mm,
They're going to take their
okay.
pill. They're going to
No,
take that.
you're right. You're right. I've seen more where it really. No, go ahead. You're right. You're right.
Well, music
Pharmaceuticals
is a
is
huge
definitely.
influencer. Music is a huge influencer.
They will, but you're right. People, they've got their medicine in their bags, in their pocket, in their automobile. You're right. They will not go without their medicine. To freak out, actually, if they see that they've passed 5 minutes from the time that they're
Right.
supposed to take it.
That
Yeah, you're
rules
right.
the world. Money and technology, they control our environment, and petroleum poison controls our bodies.
Petroleum. Yep.
Petroleum poison, baby. That's what I call it. It's just petroleum poison. And it's blah, blah, blah. It's true. That's what it is. It's a poison. But we just I look at that spy thing, and you look at the Biden thing, and you look at the whole DNC and Clinton thing, and they're just rubbing our noses in it. They're just rubbing our noses and going, do something. We're scumbags here. Aren't you going to do anything? Come on, Americans. Poking us. What are you going to do? You didn't do nothing. You're controlled now. You aren't free people anymore. You hadn't been.
Never been.
We dare you to do something. We're going to keep showing you the most blatant, anti-American, anti-human, behavior, and you're not going to do nothing. You're going to just keep taking it and taking it. And if anybody says anything, like little channels like Tommy from Texas, we'll shut him down. And he alerts you to the fact that it's all a lie. It's last night watching another clip. They were talking about old Joe and how, wow, America just he's not entertaining. At least Trump was entertaining, and they show a clip where he's riling up a crowd. And they go, and even Obama, he could crack a joke, and Clinton. Look how cool Clinton was. He was on, Arsenio playing the saxophone, but old Joe, he's just not real relatable. Wait a minute, y'all told us that more people ever in the history of this world voted for him. Y'all told us the young people just loved him. You told us that this guy was the shit, man, that he was going to walk through the door, and now there's an adult in the room. They showed a montage of that the other day when he got elected. Just every left-wing media, well, now I have a sense there's an adult back in the room. The adults are now in charge again. They're like, really, Joe? Joe's our adult now. He's babysitting now. That's like
I was watching him. I was actually watching him when he was doing the Obama thing, and I was watching his stance and the way and it's not, and sometimes, I seen the dazing off and stuff, but his approach is don't make any sudden movements. Don't show any response to them clapping their hands at me, speaking my name, and even got irritated after the third time of telling them, hey, quit clapping, like sit down. He seemed, it's all script, but it acted as though he got irritated, because they didn't listen the first time and didn't listen the third time.
Right.
But his demeanor, I kept watching his demeanor when they would turn the camera to him, and it's like it's like a Baptist, and I don't mean to say
man. He's a
right.
He's
Standing straight. You keep your eyes straight. You don't waver from that. You've got one goal and one goal here, and it's the only goal here. Doesn't matter what these people are saying about you. Don't act like you like it because they're clapping at you or giving you good praise. Don't give them any awareness that's good for you.
Right.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway,
But it's a clown show. Saw a clip yesterday of old Pete Buttigieg, the mayor. Pete is on an interview on a black guy's podcast. He's got a TV show and stuff too. That what's his name? Charlemagne the guy or something like that. But he's got Pete Buttigieg on there, and he tells Pete, he says, hey, I just gotta be honest. Since this administration, took office, y'all have done nothing for the black people. You've done nothing for the black community. And old Mayor Pete goes, what? Really? You don't think so? And the guy's like, no. And Pete's like, huh. He has no response. He's just like, really? You don't think so? And the guy's like, no. Know what you're talking about.
what?
Just didn't peel off one thing. Hey, we did this for the black community, or we did that. Look, we just had the black, Supreme Court justice and all this. And hey, really? You don't think so? It's like, no, I don't think so.
No more.
No.
Like the guy even responded, and he still didn't give him a response. He still didn't say anything.
Yeah, and watching that Peter Ducey. He's gonna do his best to carve up Jen Psaki before her last day, because he had such a good one yesterday. He says it's been reported that illegals crossing the border are given smartphones so they can be tracked and they can come to their appointments. He says, "Is there any plan to give Americans free smartphones?" And she goes, Well, we use those. How else do you want us to track them? And it goes, it's fine that you're tracking them, but is there any plan to give Americans free smartphones and free call plans? And she's just like, what? We got to track them somehow. Not the point. Are Americans going to start getting free cell phones like they are with a plan, everything on it? They won't answer. Why don't you just say, no, why would we do that? We're giving them to illegals. We're not going to give them to Americans. Americans can't get their own fucking phones. Why don't you just be honest and go, we're giving them to illegals because they need to be able to contact drug mules. They need to be able to contact, the sex traffickers. They need to be able to, contact the illegal employers. They need a phone. How do you survive in this world without a phone? Just be honest.
Well, I know up here with Child Services and DHS, Department of Human Services, they give you a free cell phone. If you go up and sign in, and sign up and stuff for it, they'll give it to you. But and I remember they started doing that though, a while back, where it started with house phones they were doing for free. And then it went to, they had to have a cell phone on them, just a cheap one. It ain't even a flip, it's got the buttons on it. It looks like a walkie talkie, but that was the old school ones. I don't know what they give away now. Man, where's that clip at, Tommy? You're just shooting stuff at me all kinds of ways today. Because that one is very interesting. I mean, them saying, I mean, did she say the words of we got to keep track of them?
Yeah. How else do you expect us to track them? Was her response. How else do you expect us to track them? Okay, well, we got the technology. Inject a little chip like a dog under their skin. Track them with that. It's cheaper than a fucking smartphone. And a plan for all of them. I've got a way to do it. We've been doing it with dogs for a long time and cats.
Yeah.
It's cheap, it's efficient, it works. But they you got a stranger. But remember back in Obama's presidency when they're interviewing the people on the street. What are you doing here? We in line to get us an Obama phone. Really? Where are these phones coming from? I don't know. I don't know. And he's all, well, these phones, they free to everybody. Yep. And he gonna give us some cash too. And they're like, well, where does he get the cash? They go, I don't know. He got a stash somewhere. We're just gonna get it. These
Right.
people,
He's just wanting to help everybody. He got a stash. He just gonna just throw the money out. Like,
he's
yeah.
handing out phones and money today. He's the best. He's
So
the best.
bad. Hey man, I just wanted to say good morning.
Morning, dude. What's up?
Not much, man. All I know is that Will Smith shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock like that. I think that was wrong, man.
No, man, he deserved it. He had it coming. Out your motherfucking mouth.
Yeah. I just said that because, like, you know.
It's the main thing that's being spoken.
Yeah.
It's like it is making fun of it.
It's so
It's
stupid.
making fun of it. Yeah, it is. It is the stupidest thing like ever.
No, you haven't seen the newest Will Smith Jada Pinkett video?
No,
Oh, you haven't seen that?
no.
This is brand new. She's videoing him. They're at home. And she's asking him about, don't you think this person was the most instrumental in shaping our marriage? And his immediate response is, look, if you're going to video me, I wish you'd tell me before. And he says, this is my social presence. My social media is my bread and butter. And I don't need you up in here videoing me. And she turns the phone to herself and she's like, well, we're going to deal with this because he's not understanding. And she turns it back. He's like, I told you, don't be videoing me. You don't get it. And it's just weird, really weird. And he seems more genuine in that response, that he does not want her videoing him, and his social media is his, and she doesn't need to be using his likeness or anything else on social media.
That's
And
right. That's money, man.
Yeah, he's not happy with her at all.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And
I
she's
don't
not,
know.
I'm just telling you, they keep churning this stuff out. And
Right,
these people,
and why? And people are just eating it up.
well, they've had this weird marriage for a long time anyway, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
I
about
mean,
the
we don't know
Hunger
anything
Games.
about it.
I think about the Hunger Games. You ever like watched the Hunger Games? Right. And the Hunger Games, and how, in the Hunger Games, she and he, the couple that comes out of the little their area that they live in, their
Mhm.
group, they're taken to the rich city, where they're dolled up and stuff, and over time these two have like this fake love story in front of the cameras, in front of the people. They got this fake love story that they're just in love, which one of them actually but either way, that's not the point.
Yeah.
And so everyone sees them as this couple, with their fights. They stage their arguments, they stage their love scenes, all
Right.
of it. It was all staged.
Right.
And so how do we know that all these years we get these teen magazines? That's what I started out in. I started out in Teen Bop and stuff. I remember when they came out and started hanging around, reading about all the popular celebrity children and the teenage boys and stuff. Had a poster of Jonathan Taylor Thomas up on my wall. I wrote poems to him in the morning time, and I would kiss his poster. Like, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, I understand.
And like, but all the ladies that he loved, in his actor lifestyle, he had so many girlfriends.
Right.
What's that teaching your youngins? What was that? What's that showing us? But dude, I don't think it was true. It's all because it's part of the MK Ultra project. I don't think MK Ultra ever stopped, bro. I don't
No,
think it was ever ended. I think it has continued. But the mind twisting of getting these little girls and little boys connected, more little girls with the superstars and stuff, getting them connected to these young men and women that are young men, little boys and little girls that are working in this. They every day they come home from school. I'd come home from school and watch these television shows, on Nickelodeon, and I would watch these families. I would hardly ever see the parents. You barely ever seen the parents. Sometimes you would,
right.
but it was mainly the youngins. They were
Yeah.
always alone. They were alone and they were kept to themselves, and they had different girlfriends or different boyfriends, or
Well, they
was
always
switching
had
with their friends.
money, came and went
Right,
as they pleased.
right,
It was
right.
it was strange.
And it
And
taught me how to laugh. It taught me what to laugh at. It was teaching me how to love, which
right,
was not the right kind of love. It was
right,
teaching me what to think about. It was teaching me how to be deceitful to ones around me, how to manipulate with my own work. I mean, like, and this is what comes out of these flipping things. So with Will Smith and Jada Pickett Smith, or dude, dude, I just wonder. I don't think anybody that works in Hollywood is free from the MK Ultra. I don't think anybody.
yeah. So
They're
imagine that they're
right. It's
working and they're free of it. Not if they're
right.
working. Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched this stuntman show. This guy that was a stuntman. One more thing, and he was a stuntman, and he worked, through it, and was getting kind of high up there in the stuntman object. So he was able to go to like parties and stuff. He started getting invited to parties, and he started realizing around him that like the houses that he would go into of these actors and actresses, that they would have like demonic statues of babies down at the bottom of it with their, guts hung open or something, and don't mean to go into detail because that's absolutely ridiculous, but I'm just trying to show you. And he said it was in every one of their houses. It wasn't just in one of them. It was in all of them,
Yeah,
something that gruesome. And it always involved children. Well,
oh, yeah,
you're a child. It don't matter how old you are. You're a child. I'm a child.
right,
Jason's a child. We are children of the Most High God. We are
right,
His children. And so, like, these children that are depicted in these statues, that statue might have went from one demonic actor's house to the next demonic actress's house. The same exact statue, just moved from one place to the other. Man, those children on that statue are probably 400 years old. Who knows?
right.
I'm just picking. All I'm saying is this is who they're talking to. We still watch this. We get older, we stop watching cartoons, stop watching all the little home shows, and then we start watching what we call adult movies and adult shows, which is ridiculous. It's all doing the same flipping twisting of the mind. It's all the same stuff. It just don't look it, but it is. And we still do it though. We
Right.
still watch movies. We
Well,
still watch our television.
go back in the 80s when right after they had started the rating system for the movies, and go and look at a G-rated movie of then, or, ever level to now, an R versus an R, PG versus a PG, and these days the PGs are almost R's. PG-13s are almost R-rated movies of the past. They've changed that whole moral line. Whereas if it was R-rated, kids weren't supposed to watch it. You aren't supposed to go see it at all. There's stuff in there not for you. But now the PG-13, there's more innuendo and more sexual aversion in these things than there ever was before. And I'm bringing that up. And I'm glad you talked about kids, because I was watching a Jim Brewer, the comedian. He was on a podcast with us, Sam Tripoli, and they went into this. And this is one of the most nefarious things ever done and nobody talks about it. This is Pinocchio, the movie Pinocchio, and the scene where they admit completely that they take little rogue boys who run away and don't go to school to Pleasure Island, and they don't come back as boys. And this is right there in Pinocchio, telling you all about what they do and how they do it. It's crazy. Watch this. Now watch this and what they say. Okay, right off the bat, he's singing an actor's life is gay. He's singing about being an actor.
It's great to be a celebrity, an actor's life for me.
These are Hollywood jackasses that he's representing.
Yeah. He fell for it.
He said an actor's life is.
Lion and singer.
Rich.
And he still thinks we're his friends. And it's Stromboli pay. Plenty. That's your
This guy's getting a hard on.
Yeah, this guy. Hey, Giddy.
Stupid ads.
He was so alive.
Now,
Oh, Coachman,
did that guy just get nutted?
what's your proposition?
Did you see that? Yeah. Now this guy is in.
You blokes like to make some real money. Well, and who do we have to, no.
See, they're willing to murder for the money. He knows right off the bat, I'm willing to kill somebody for this money. That's obviously what you want. No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. You see?
He's looking around.
Yep.
He's looking around. They're both looking around.
Collecting stupid little boys.
Ooh.
Oh my!
You know,
Oh, wait.
this pity once what play you give them school. Oh. And you see,
He whispers to him what they really do. And watch how they react.
Watch what he says at the end.
They're telling him
I
to
take
whisper.
you to Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island.
What?
But the law. Suppose they know.
He knows Pleasure Island is not good. He don't want Pleasure Island, nothing to do with it. What about the law, he says? What do they find out? No.
No, there's no risk. They never come back as boys.
Oh my!
Dude.
Right? And how many little kids have seen Pinocchio?
Oh, dude, I watched Pinocchio like 5,000 times, man.
Yeah,
I never flipping picked up on that. The
right.
gay part and the little boys and Pleasure Island and oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Well, and if you think about the theme of the whole thing, it's about an old man that just wants to have a little boy of his own. He just wants to have a little boy. He didn't have a wife or anything. He just wants to have him a little boy. And he'll do anything to have one. You know?
Even still. Oh my
So creepy,
goodness.
right? That stuff's been shown to kids across the plain. And
Right. We need to pay attention to the villains.
everybody just laughs. Oh, whoa, those guys are creepy, huh? And
Because
like
they make it funny.
I've said it before.
You know?
The joke about the priest, the jokes about the lawyers, the jokes about judges, the jokes about pedophiles. They're all just jokes. Everybody just laughs it off. Did you hear the one about, the crooked priest or the pedophile priest? Everybody laughs. It's a joke. No, that shit's real. Now we've just turned it. It's just a joke now. It really happens, but we just separate completely from it and make it a joke. and it's okay now. It doesn't really
Mhm.
happen. It's just a joke. But they
Right.
keep doing it. It just
Right.
perpetuates. You
Well,
know?
like I was saying, they tell you, they teach you, you know, how to joke, how to laugh, what to laugh at, when to laugh at it, when to love, when to
But
cry, what to be afraid of, you know?
Think
Sigmund
about it.
Freud.
That's what, isn't that what Jeffrey Epstein called his island, Pleasure Island?
Yep, sure did.
Pleasure
Sure
Island
did.
been around a long time or what?
Mm.
Has it been there, a base of operation for a long time? Is that what
Oh,
they're
sure.
telling us? Is that what's going on there?
Right.
Take
And the
those little
law don't go
boys,
down there.
they don't come back as boys.
Mm.
They never do. And that's just, wow.
The wooden, oh my goodness, brother, the wooden puppet, the artificial intelligent puppet,
Controlling it.
the machine coming to life. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. There's a lot in Pinocchio. And I
Yeah,
watched.
tons in there. Tons in there. I believe there's parts in there where if you stop it right on the bookshelf, there's a book. I believe the title of it is All About Sex. And there's several things like that throughout the movie. There's a real good, somebody's done a real good deep dive on it. I've seen it. And there's in Pinocchio, there's a dozen different subliminal messages. And you know, lots of them, they do it in almost every one of them in the clouds. They'll spell out sex in the clouds, you know, phallic symbols, you know, all
Yeah,
over
that
the
was in
place.
Lion King.
Yeah,
And Lion King, the smoke spells out sex in the cloud. Yeah, you're yeah. It'll be in the tree. Like it's crazy. It is. It's all over it.
Subliminally, we're getting that one. That's the nefariousness of it, is that subliminally they know that works. It works. Subliminal programming like that. It works.
Yeah, it's part of the 149 sub-projects of the MK Ultra project.
Yeah, you can't sit there and say, "Oh, you know, it wouldn't happen to me." You have no choice. When you sit there and look at screens, when you watch TV, they're in there. You can't stop them.
Nope, and
they see them. You know, you can't block them out. They're there. You just have to turn off the TV, literally. Just turn it off. You can't watch it.
No. I had a buddy that would put a blanket. I mean, I'd walk in his house, you know, he just passed away recently, but he'd have a blanket over his TV. You know, I think Dallas was 70, in his 70s. Yeah. And he'd like have a blanket or a towel over his TV, you know, because he was he was probably in his 40s and he was working for a newspaper company in New York, and he was starting to see patterns in the newspapers, you know. And so he was home one night and he was watching television. He was watching the news or something. And all of a sudden he told me, he said, Jesus, I believe, slowed time down to where it would show me what was flashing at my eyes. And he said, I can't explain to you what I seen. He said, but I seen something very demonic that flashed before my eyes. He said, you know, that came from that television. And he was like, he grabbed his gun that was right beside him and shot that television out. And from then on, you know, yeah. But every time he got to where it wasn't bothering him as much, the older he got, you know, he got to where he wasn't covering his television as much. But yeah, I loved that about him when I first met him, for sure. You know, that he would cover that television. Like, that's flipping awesome, brother.
No joke. And you know, since I quit watching, except for I guess I watch golf, you know, when I go to bed at night, I'll watch The Office. You know, that's about all I watch.
Jason used to watch.
And watching going back on YouTube and watching some of the older sitcoms. Wow, the content they got away with that these days that would never make it to air is just, it's just amazing. You forget until you go back and watch some of that stuff and see the things they do and say. It's just, it's hilarious. They're able to mock and laugh at everything, and it's okay. But nowadays, it's not okay no more. but they literally will make fun of everything.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter, race, gender, creed, whatever. And nowadays, no way. You better, and I read a deal. There's a group out there that started out of some left-wing college that is going to start reviewing all the new TV shows coming out, and they will grade them on their equality and inclusivity.
By
So
whose grade? Who's
by their
grading it?
standard, by their they've got a degree in women's studies and social studies and things, and they're going to look at it and tell us if we're getting, an equal, diverse, slice of humanity. Are we going to have our trannies? Are we going to have our biracials? Are we going to have our, every single thing represented, except for the straight white male? If you put the straight white Christian male in there, he's going to be the butt of every joke. He's going to be the catalyst that everybody works off of. That's going to be the problem person. And they're going to present him as this straight conservative guy that just is like, well, you just don't do that. And they're like, look, man, it's 2022. You got to love everybody, man. Everybody counts.
You're right. It's going to go into that coexist. Yeah. Where the Christian will be.
But when I heard that, I was like, well, I mean, my God, they already do a good enough job. But is this going to be another thing that before we know it, it'll be a label on that TV show. Hey, this is approved by, whatever this group is, and that way, this has got all your, all your demonic representations in it. It's going to have it all. But if that group doesn't certify it, oh, well, then you're not going to be watching diversity.
No, you're right. Yes.
You're going to be lacking. They're not going to tell you about him, hers, he, she's, they's, thems. They're not going to tell you that. It's scary. It's scary. Another entity, just like the rating system, just like the FDA, just like the FEC, all that.
Well, Days of Noah, day before, the very last one that he put out, was just, man, on time. He goes through the time of all the television shows and music and the eras, of disco era and all this, and he really breaks it down to show that this is what they've led up to,
Right.
And the same thing I've been saying, nothing was made for our enjoyment, for our delight. None of this stuff that they show us through that screen, right, these screens, is made for our enjoyment, for us to have something just to keep us busy, or it's for a marketing thing. It's not just for a marketing thing. Yeah, it's for marketing for Satan wanting our souls. That's exactly what it is, and that's what it's led up to. And for this digital new technology, man, oh my gosh, this age that's here, it's just strange.
Well,
it's a strange time.
Crow 777 did a real good job. They did 2-hour shows on starting in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way through the 90s, and all these trends and the way these things changed, and the way society, changed over those decades, and what were the catalysts in each decade. And it spins quite a picture when you can step back and see the 180-degree view of what really went down. And it's like, oh my God, we were so set up. It was so manipulated, every single thing. It didn't matter what it was, the wars, the famines, the outbreaks, fires, whatever. It doesn't matter. It was all they were done for a reason. And we were the dupes of it all. Our grandparents, our parents, nobody can answer questions about like that Divergent. He had a real good piece on all the vending machines. There used to be vending machines for everything. It didn't matter. What did you want? You need light bulbs for your house? You could go down the street and there's a bank of vending machines and get you some light bulbs. You needed milk, eggs, bread, didn't matter. Vending machine right there on the streets. Where'd they go? Who started them? Who did the cooking? Who stocked them? What happened here? They're there and then they're gone. And there's no explanation of who brought them in and whose concept this was. And there's no mention of who took them out and why they got rid of them. I mean, unexplained. Our grandparents would have been in that era. My parents would have been at the back end of it where it was phasing out. Nobody ever heard. Nobody knows nothing. What are you talking about? I'm like, there's pictures. There's on city streets. They're everywhere. There's some egg vending machines out in the middle of the country. Pull over and put a quarter in and get a dozen eggs. Right there in a vending machine. What happened?
And they've stopped the older folks from speaking, you know, they've stopped them from talking and sharing stories, you know, giving them dementia and Alzheimer's through the medication.
I think they got convinced that we're going to write down the stories for you. We're, all these things, we'll write them down. You don't have to pass any of them along. We'll do it.
Yeah, look at that. And then that's what's going on now with the technology is you don't have to do it through any, writing it or even videoing it. We'll just do it for you. We already know what you want. We can read what you like. Oh, that was too small there. No, there we go. Yeah, it's flipping nuts, man.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna go show you guys my my stuff. Where am I? What's that noise? Is that a cat?
Yeah, but he gives me poor and he won't.
All right, I'm gonna go in here, show you guys. Can y'all see? It's dark. Everybody's still asleep. Oh. Are you there, Ash? Oh, I don't know if y'all can. I can't hear.
There. Okay.
All right, Ash. Check it out. Check out the new guy.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's cool.
I'm getting big. And here's my two clones.
Yeah. Well, right on, brother.
I'm getting them growing. The all my other stuff we moved down to watch out, dogs. We moved down to the other garage. All right. I hope that audio wasn't too bad doing that. I know it.
No, it wouldn't. It wasn't bad at all. No, brother. No, those are lovely. For sure. Those are lovely.
Found one seed in a bag we had about 3 or 4 months ago. And I was like, all right, me and Alan prayed over it and said, if you're going to be, let's let you be. And we germinated it, and there it goes. It's all good.
I'll tell you.
I'm so impatient.
You're so impatient, man. I'll tell you, my friend, she has a flipping forest in her back room, and you go in there, she's got like, oh gosh, man, I would say at least 12 plants, but it's a small little trailer room, so it's tiny space, and she's got her grow lights hanging up, and got it, she puts them to sleep at a certain time, and she wakes them up at a certain time, and the baby. Yeah, and the babies are in the other room, and they get woke up and put to sleep at a certain time. And I'll tell you what, she grows some of the best stuff I've ever, it's just I get some from a buddy. You never know what his is going to be, indica or sativa, and he gets his from another friend. So there's no telling where where it comes from. And his stuff will put me if I sit down, man, I might go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hers, hers gets me. I like hers because it helps with my pain, one, and it makes me go. Like it
It's
helps me
sativa.
work, It's
Yeah.
flipping awesome. And every one of hers have been like that so far, where she's taking care. I've taken her some seeds from my homies to her, and that I've found. I hardly ever find any, but if I do, I take them to her. And she makes butter. Man, this butter, Jason says that there should be a warning label on it, because all you got to do is take like the smallest bite of this butter. I don't like cook it in nothing. I just eat the butter, and you're good. You're good. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, my buddy that makes gummies, he's not a precision measurer or what do I say? Calculating all the measurements right. So he estimates his are 15 to 20 milligrams per. And I got them from my parents, and I tell them just, no more than a half of one at a time. Start with a quarter. And the first few times I gave them to him, my dad's thinking, oh, well, she can take a quarter. I can take a whole one. And he says, man, I ate that thing, and I was sitting in my chair. I felt like I was flying. I was like, I told you not to do it. I told you not to take that much.
He thought he was going to be
I
a
won't
big
ever
dog.
again. He said, I wasn't in any pain, but I won't ever do that again. I'm
Wasn't
like,
expecting it.
I told you, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Well, Ash,
What?
we're at 1 hour and 7 minutes, Shug. I'm going to
All right, brother.
cash in my chips. Y'all have a
All right.
blessed day.
You too,
Thanks.
man. Off today. Praise Jesus. And you
Amen.
too. And I love you,
Yeah.
man.
Love you too. Everybody, good discernment, good vibrations. Love y'all.